She was one of the most popular and famous child stars ever, singing, acting, and dancing her way to stardom.
Imagine a child star so famous that she became a symbol of hope during the darkest years of the Great Depression.
Shirley Temple is among them. Her trademark curls and dimples lifted the spirits of people in America during the Great Depression of the 1930s.
With her golden curls, sparkling eyes, and smile that lit up every room, Shirley Temple wasn't just a star. She was a national treasure. But behind the charm, there was a life filled with incredible achievements and harsh realities. What happened to the girl who became America's sweetheart, and what truths lie beneath that signature smile? Shirley was born on April 23, 1928, in Santa Monica, California, to George and Gertrude Temple. Her mother, a fiercely determined woman, saw potential in Shirley from the start. Even as a toddler, Shirley was full of energy and personality. At just 3 years old, Gertrude enrolled her in dance classes, believing her daughter was destined for greatness. And greatness came quickly. Shirley's magnetic charm made her a star almost overnight. Gertrude's dedication to Shirley's career was intense and unyielding. She styled Shirley's hair into exactly 56 perfect pin curls for every single movie. No more, no less. A ritual as precise as her mother's ambition. As Shirley would later say, her super mother kept my head on straight, guiding her firmly but lovingly. Gertrude was not just a stage mom. She was the force behind Shirley's charm, shaping her every step with determination and a vision for greatness. As Shirley grew, her hobbies were far from typical. She didn't spend her days with dolls or toys. Instead, she was singing, dancing, and performing little shows for her family, a tiny whirlwind of talent who couldn't sit still. Her family watched fascinated as Shirley transformed into this unstoppable bundle of joy, ready to win the hearts of America. But what truly set Shirley apart wasn't just her talent. It was a unique charm that seemed both innocent and wise beyond her years. Then came her big break in the most unusual way. At just 3 years old, a talent scout discovered her and cast her in a series of short films called Baby Burlesques. But these films were strange, to say the least. Imagine toddlers in diapers playing out exaggerated adult scenes. Shirley was seen trading kisses for lollipops and saying lines like, "I'm expensive." In one scene, she even responded with a smile to a soldier in a diaper who called her baby. Audiences couldn't get enough of her. But for Shirley, the experience left a lasting mark. As an adult, Shirley looked back on her time in Baby Burlesques with a critical eye. In her autobiography, Child Star, she called the series a cynical exploitation of our childish innocence. Revealing that they were more than just quirky, they often included racial and gender stereotypes that were uncomfortable even by the standards of the time. These early experiences shaped her view of Hollywood and its darker side, lessons she carried with her as she continued to grow up on screen. During that time, it was not uncommon for child actors to imitate adult life, even if it seems odd today. In these films, kids dressed up like adults and acted out silly scenes involving love stories or fancy parties. Shirley found herself pretending to behave like a grown-up, which was quite a strange expectation for someone her age. In one of the short films, War Babies, made in 1932, 3-year-old Shirley gets her first speaking role as an exotic dancer in a bar for soldiers. She wears a little off-the-shoulder dress and performs for a group of shirtless toddlers pretending to be army men, complete with big safety pins in their diapers. In this bizarre setup, 2 soldiers give her lollipops, and she comically finds herself cheating on one with the other. They both call her Baby, and she affectionately refers to her main guy as Mon cher Capitaine. This film also marked her first on-screen kiss before she even turned 5. Another film, Politics in Washington, features 4-year-old Shirley as a character who seems to be a mistress to a toddler senator. The boys in this film are still shirtless, but now they don oversized hats and capes to look like government officials. When we first meet Shirley, she's filing her nails while wearing a little bra. Then, she receives a call from a top hat-wearing toddler, instructing her to go charm a senator to get him to work. Upon entering, she greets the senator draped in pearls, claiming she's there to entertain him. The working conditions on these sets were tough, with long hours and intense pressure. If Shirley or any of the other child actors didn't perform well, they faced strict punishments. One of the most frightening methods was known as punishment boxes. These small, dark boxes were used to isolate misbehaving kids. Shirley spent hours in one of these boxes, a stark reminder of the harsh realities of Hollywood that often remain hidden from the public. Unfortunately, stories like hers were not uncommon. Many child actors endured similar treatment, revealing an industry that frequently prioritized success over the well-being of its youngest stars. Her breakout role came at the age of 6 in the film Stand Up and Cheer in 1934. At this time, America was in the midst of the Great Depression, and the nation desperately needed hope, something to lift their spirits. Enter Shirley Temple. Her optimistic characters in movies like Bright Eyes and Curly Top captured the hearts of millions, making her a symbol of innocence and happiness during one of the darkest times in American history. She could light up the gloomiest of days with just a simple smile, and by the tender age of 10, she was the highest-grossing actor in the United States. Imagine that, a child out-earning adults during one of the toughest financial crises in history. Shirley's value as an entertainer was so high that when she was just 7 years old, 20th Century Fox took the unusual step of insuring their rising star for $795,000 through Lloyd's of London to protect their investment. The studio even included specific conditions. Shirley couldn't bear arms during war or become injured while intoxicated, an extraordinary measure for a child star. But even the Golden Girl of Hollywood was not immune to bizarre rumors and relentless scrutiny. One of the most persistent myths that haunted her was the idea that she was somehow a dwarf. Some claimed that she didn't lose her baby teeth as a child, leading to wild speculation that she was actually a small adult masquerading as a child. This strange rumor was fueled by her seemingly perfect appearance and poised demeanor, so perfect that many couldn't believe she was genuinely a little girl. The situation became so absurd that Shirley later recalled how the Vatican even sent investigators to confirm she was a real child and not an adult impersonating one. The truth? Shirley lost her baby teeth just like any other child. Filmmakers, however, got creative to hide the gaps, using dental caps or shooting her from angles that minimized the visibility of her missing teeth. Others questioned the authenticity of her iconic curls, which Shirley later admitted were real, but required an extensive nightly routine to maintain. Despite her glittering success, Shirley's transition to adolescence wasn't as smooth as her early career. As she matured, her adorable image became harder to maintain, and audiences struggled to accept her as anything but the darling child star they adored. Her teenage years were filled with challenges and awkwardness, as some of her later films failed to reach the same heights as her childhood hits. In 1940, at just 12 years old, she was let go by her longtime studio, 20th Century Fox. Suddenly, Hollywood's Golden Girl was out of work, facing rejection for the first time in her life. The public seemed to lose interest as Shirley grew up, a tragic fate far too common for child actors. As she matured, Shirley Temple transitioned from being a Hollywood darling to a young woman grappling with her own personal challenges. At just 17 years old, she married John Agar, an actor and soldier. The marriage seemed like a fairy tale, a union of two Hollywood stars. But the reality quickly shattered that image. John Agar struggled with alcoholism and was reportedly unfaithful, engaging in multiple affairs throughout their marriage. The pressures of Hollywood, coupled with these personal struggles, ultimately led to their divorce in 1949, leaving Shirley to raise their daughter, Linda Susan, on her own. However, Shirley found happiness again in 1950 when she married Charles Alden Black, a businessman and Navy officer. Together they welcomed 2 more children, Charles Jr. and Lori. This new chapter brought her stability and love, and her family became her source of strength. Shirley stepped away from acting, choosing to focus on raising her kids and living a more private life, embracing the everyday joys of motherhood without regret. But Shirley's story doesn't end there. In fact, it takes an unexpected turn into the world of diplomacy. In 1969, Shirley began working for the U.S. State Department, using her fame and intelligence to forge a new path as a diplomat. She was appointed as a delegate to the United Nations, and in 1974, she became the U.S. ambassador to Ghana. Her charisma and grace, which had charmed millions on screen, now helped her navigate the complexities of international politics. In 1989, she took on the prestigious role of U.S. ambassador to Czechoslovakia during a tumultuous period marked by the fall of the communist regime. It was clear that Shirley had found a second calling, proving her talents extended far beyond the spotlight and into meaningful global service. Throughout her life, Shirley remained a beloved figure, but she wasn't immune to tragedy. In 1972, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, becoming one of the first well-known women to speak openly about the disease. Her bravery in discussing her double mastectomy helped break the stigma surrounding breast cancer at a time when such topics were often kept hidden. She advocated for awareness, using her platform to support others facing similar battles. Sadly, Shirley Temple passed away on February 10, 2014, at the age of 85. She died of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, a result of her years as a heavy smoker. Ironically, something she kept secret from the public for most of her life. But even in death, Shirley remains an icon, not just as the darling child star who helped America smile through the Great Depression, but as a strong, multifaceted woman who transformed her life time and again, from the golden girl of Hollywood to a respected diplomat and advocate. Shirley Temple's life wasn't always as picture-perfect as the movies she starred in, but perhaps that's what makes her legacy even more inspiring. She showed the world that you can be more than one thing, and that even when the spotlight dims, there are always new ways to shine. As we look back at Shirley Temple's amazing journey, where she starred in over 40 films and faced the challenges of fame from a young age, it's clear that her path wasn't always easy. Behind her bright smile and golden curls was a strong person who dealt with the pressures of Hollywood and life's ups and downs. Not only did she win hearts as a famous child star, but she also became a U.S. ambassador later in life, working for important causes. Shirley's story shows us that even the brightest stars have their struggles. If you enjoyed hearing about her incredible life, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories about Hollywood legends.